What's up, everybody? I'm back here with another video, another MMA commentary video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Khamzat Chimaev versus Colby Covington and how it's probably not going to happen and how I'm devastated about that. I was just at work, and I was thinking about UFC fights and thinking, man, we're getting so much good stuff soon. 287, 286, and 285 are all stacked. Don't even get me started on 284 though. That card is so bad. Well, okay, it's another video, but anyways, this fight, it could have been something really special, but I don't think it's gonna happen. It looks like Khamzat is gonna go up to 185. He looks huge in the videos he's been posting, which I think he should have tried to be a champ at 70. Of course, I can't speak for him. If he doesn't want to go down to 70 again and make that cut, I understand. I think he'll do fine at 85. But he could have been champ, and if he decides to cut off 170, it's unfortunate. On the other hand, it looks like Colby is in the works to fight Bilal, which I think is probably going to be a pretty boring fight, but I think Colby is going to win it. So, it'll be another one in the win column for him. But if he loses it, I don't think he'll fight Khamzat. Actually, it would be kind of guaranteed not, because he'd probably drop lower than Khamzat in the rankings. And I don't think Khamzat would want to fight if it's not for a championship or for a number one contender fight, which, is justifiable. He probably doesn't have many more 170 cuts in him, so it's okay. Now, this fight, this fight would have been so awesome to have in England on the Leon card with Usman. Would have been the championship fight and then the number one contender fight, and as we see here, man, just the potential this could have been. I said big ass co-main event. Now, it could have been a main event maybe on a week pay-per-view, but assuming it's not a championship fight, it should be a co-main event. And it should be 5 rounds. It would have to be 5 rounds, I think that it just has to be. It will draw pay-per-views. These guys are both big. These guys are big names. These are some of the few big names the UFC has right now. There's not many guys you can book right now and people would be super excited for. But both of these against each other, people are going to want to watch this, man. Colby's a big star, he's going to sell the fight. He's going to hype it up. He's going to bring it, he's going to show up. You can trust it. Khamzat, bro, same thing. Khamzat is going to bring his A game. He probably learned a lot from that Gilbert Burns fight. And, I don't think he's going to get stupid in there, like he kind of did against Gilbert as the fight went on. And Khamzat's a huge star too. Khamzat has millions of Instagram followers, and he's not even a champion yet. The sky's the limit for this guy. And it's simply the fight to make. I can't stress that enough. And we got Dancing Dana from the Mojahid Food Diet videos. Because it would have been crazy, man. This fight alone probably sells, I don't know how many. I really don't know how many, but quite a few, pay-per-views. And just really, really could have been something huge, man. And that leads me into my next topic of discussion, because I feel like I've covered most of it. I just really big fight. Big in the division, big for both guys, big for the UFC, and look, I don't hate Colby Covington, okay? I really don't. I used to. When I first got into the sport, I really didn't like Colby Covington, but I think he's kind of grown into his character a little more, and he's getting funnier. Each fight he's getting funnier, When you realize that it's all an act, you're just like, okay, we can just take this for what this is, and he's pretty funny, And also, I'm glad I remembered this. If he wins this fight, he for sure defends his number one contender spot, and yeah, it's a number one contender fight because of who Khamzat is. I mean, when we look at Colby Covington's record, let me look it up. Okay, I've got it up here. Colby Covington is 17-3, which is pretty good. He obviously just beat Masvidal, and then, you know, he had his fights with Marty, and, you know, I'm going to be honest, man, he is no longer the second best guy in the division. You know, I think he's very overrated. A lot of people are talking about this right now, and I think it's because, you know, people are realizing, like, yo, this guy's not fighting all that much. He's wasted his prime, you know, and it sucks because he was active. He had an active pretty much every year before 2020, you know, and it is what it is. But I mean, his last win, you know, Jorge Masvidal, decent win. Tyron Woodley, you know, former champ, kind of a weird win, but he was definitely winning the fight. And Robbie Lawler, Rafael Dos Anjos, bro, that's his last 4 wins, you know? Like, what about that is super extraordinary? I'm sorry. You know, washed up Woodley, you know, Masvidal after his chin was cracked and his confidence was probably shot. You know, Rafael Dos Anjos, that's a pretty good win. And Robbie Lawler is not even ranked anymore, you know? So, and he was coming off a loss. He was. So, you know, Colby's got his own issues going on, but if he wins this fight, you know, I think we can justify another title shot, you know, especially if Leon wins. You know, if Usman wins, the case is harder to make, but I think it's still there. With that being said, man, I think Khamzat wins the fuck out of this fight. I just think he does. I think look, this is a serious question to anyone who's watching this far. What is in Colby's favor? You know what I mean? Like, damn near nothing, you know? So, and like I said, I don't hate Colby Covington, and I'm not just making this fight to see him lose, but, man, you know, like, I mean, he's way smaller, you know, obviously in this here, they'd both be 170, but, I mean, he's way younger, you know, and he's taller, and, I mean, just his performances have just been insane, and I think Colby Covington would truly test him, truly push him, probably more than Gilbert did, unless Khamzat gets him out of there quick, because I think the way that Khamzat wins this fight, man, you know, I don't see Khamzat winning a round 4 or a round 5, man. I think that Khamzat could probably tap him in the first round. I truly do, you know. I think he's so much stronger, you know. Think about what he'd weigh in there compared to Colby. Now, Colby's like a natural 170, you know. So, I mean, really think about that. I mean, Khamzat, he'd come in close to middleweight, probably like 190 even, you know. It really depends on how he handles his cut. But, you know, Covington probably won't be more than like 178, you know, 176 maybe. I think. That could be wrong, but I feel like I've heard that before. So, yeah, I think Khamzat smashes him, but, you know, it's still something I want to see because it could be competitive, and if it does get competitive, it would be a really good fight. You know, has title implications all over it, you know, but we're probably not going to see it. You know, Colby wants the Bilal fight. You know, Bilal wants Colby. So that's okay. And, you know, Khamzat's probably going to move up anyway. He's looking huge. He still hangs out with Darren Till. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's next. But, you know, we lost it, which is really unfortunate. Could have been a huge fight. Just wanted to rant about it, man. Y'all have a good night.